Good evening, welcome to the public hearing for Lowell Zoning Board of Appeals, for Monday, April 9, 2018. If you have a cell phone, please place it off or place it on vibrate. If you care to speak in reference to a petition, please approach the podium, state your name, and sign in. It's a matter of public record. Let's moving on to the open meeting. We have no continued business. As for tonight's assigned alternative vote, the alternative member for voting will be Mr. Mark Briere. Under new business, we have a special permit, ZB 2018-11, special permit, Philip S. Nyman Esquire, care of Jolie for 31 Westford Street. We're in receipt of a letter for continuance. Councilor has requested to continue to April 23rd, 2018. May I have a motion?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to continue ZB 2018-11, 31 Westford Street to April 23rd, 2018.
May I have a second?
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Roll call, please.
Chairman Perrin,
Approve continuance.
Member Peck,
Approve continuance.
Member Callahan,
Approve continuance.
Member McCarthy,
Approve continuance.
Member Briere,
Approve continuance.
Member Jamina.
Approve continuance.
Continuance has been approved. Moving to next new business, ZB 2018-12 for a special permit, Den Trow at 851 Middlesex Street, Section 4.5. The applicant is seeking special permit approval to open a seafood market in an existing mixed-use building at 851 Middlesex Street. The building is located in traditional neighborhood multifamily zoning district, and the proposed use requires a special permit under Section 4.5, non-conforming uses and structures and any other relief required of the Lowell zoning ordinance. Is the petitioner here tonight? Good evening. You want to
Good evening.
discuss your plan?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'd like to request for a business in the city of Lowell, Mass, at 851 Middlesex Street. I'd like to have my business gonna be under the name Mill City Seafood Market to be opened and to be in business if possible. And to start off, it's gonna be complying to the city and the state itself. Whatever needs to be done, we will do it accordingly as requested and as permitted. We will keep the building clean and to its regulations, obviously. Hours operation, we haven't really decided exactly, but as right now, I think best interest is from 9 to 7, Monday to Sunday. Business sign-wise will be the same spot as it is previously. There was a salon that was petitioned and that was to be opened, but some reason it did not open. So sign will be in the same spot. Just instead of saying the salon name would be my business name, would be Mill City Seafood Market. Neon lights, if it's permitted, obviously. Say it's open, or business is open at certain hours or whatever it is. And what's good in the business that it's going to provide fresh seafood to the city and to the citizens around the city here. Obviously, there is a park nearby there, so it's good that a parent or parents, after having a long day of competition and playing with the kids, or even just amongst their family, of doing so, they can come in after to the store and purchase food and seafood and go back home and cook it for their family. So there's no wrong in doing that, obviously. I'm hoping that the seafood will serve the city and make it better for the city. I'm not really sure. Previously, I am actually a business man myself, and I owned a Huffalo business I've been in business for over 10 years. I've complied with the city very well, and with the state and federals also. I have no outstanding. I'm in great standing with the state and the city. So I'm hoping to continue, to establish, and make myself a better citizen by doing more now, if I could. At this point, I don't think I have much to say. If there's any questions, I'd like to answer some, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a comment, are you in receipt of the comments from the city, from the Department of DPD? Did you get a copy of the
Yes, I did.
memorandum?
Yes,
Did you have a chance to review those?
yes, I did.
Okay.
A few things, I did make some notes. I'm not sure if I should jump around, or should just, whatever you think that I, should talk about. I think one thing was really, important was the dumpster.
The dumpster?
Yeah, correct.
You want to discuss that?
Yes, we did. I talked with the landlord, and he is grateful to move it back there, and it's scheduled for the 12th of this month, which is in 3 days. It will move to the back, and it's gonna have a fence or some sort of a barrier around it, and it won't be in the way of, in a way anymore. It will be to the back, correct.
Okay.
Again, that will be in April 12th.
Okay. That being said, I'd like to open it up to the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak in favor? In favor? In favor? That portion of public hearing is now closed. Anyone wishing to be in opposition? In opposition? In opposition? That portion of the public hearing is now closed. I'd like to open it up to the board. Mark?
Good evening, and thank you for your investment in Lowell, your interest in doing so. I agree with your letter that we could all benefit from more fresh seafood in our diets.
Thank you.
Yeah. My question would be, how do you dispose of expired or spoiled product? I mean, the first thing you think of with respect to seafood is the unfortunate odor that results. So when that's disposed of, are there any special precautions that you plan to take so it doesn't interfere with, the quality of life of some of the residents?
Yes, disposal. This is my first seafood store. Obviously, I don't know everything, but I will learn. I know I have to take some classes, obviously, in order to make it work. I haven't taken the classes just because it hasn't been approved. I haven't gone any further than where I'm at now. So it's hard for me to actually answer it properly. I don't want to make myself look stupid in front of you gentlemen, obviously.
Well, don't feel stupid, because I do not know the answer
Yeah,
to that
yeah.
question. So I'm going to assume that you'll work closely with the code department
Correct, of course.
for any special means that may be necessary
Yes.
for the disposal of seafood.
Yes, of course. I was informed that ServSafe might have some kind of course that will teach me, to serve it properly and get rid of it properly, like it's supposed to. I don't want it to contaminate or to ruin the city itself. If anything, I want to make it better. So definitely, if something I will look into when I do this business. But I do not have an answer at this moment because I haven't taken the course yet. So I'm assuming probably dumpsters. More than that, probably trash bags, wipes, rinsing. Probably even I'm assuming grinders maybe to demolish it and make it to tiny bits, and then probably wouldn't be just raw material, obviously. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mark. Dennis?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to ask a couple of questions.
Yes, please.
I'm looking forward to a new business opening in that location. I think that it would be a great opportunity for the city to see a business like yours open. I understand you working with the landlord to relocate the dumpsters. I'd love to see the dumpsters located in the back of the facility and preferably not displacing any parking spaces. And if you look at the site plan, I think that there's a possibility for that to happen, but I'd hate to see us lose parking spaces in the back of the building. Do you have a sense as to where they might go?
Yes. I was informed it's gonna be to the back of the building, but to the left part, from what I was, informed with, that is where it's gonna be located. And they will build some kind of a perimeter around it, obviously, if it needs to be done, yes.
Okay.
And again, that's gonna be in a couple days, 3 days to be exact, yes.
All right.
Because to the right, I believe, is the parking spaces that you are mentioning about.
Right, right. The site plan that you provided gives a number of parking spaces provided for the retail as 3, and I think that that's what we need to maintain. Is that right? So if you don't mind, we could maybe make a condition if the remaining, if my board members agree that that you'll work with the planning department to develop a location for the 2 dumpsters and the enclosure without displacing any of the parking spaces.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. And this is Chatra, he is here, and he's the landlord, and he just informed me it will be on the left side, and where it's gonna be, designated for the dumpsters only, and wouldn't interfere with the parking spaces at all.
Patrick, if I could just ask, do we have a neon sign or an internally illuminated sign on the building currently?
Yeah, I'd actually have to double check on that. If the salon sign is currently internally illuminated and you weren't increasing the size of it, then he could just make it an internally illuminated sign for his seafood business. If it's not a illuminated sign, then you would have to go through the special permit process to have that illumination.
Right, so I don't know if you're aware of that, but it's a special permit for internally illuminated signs.
Yes.
And so I don't know if you mentioned that you wanted to have a neon sign.
If it's just for the opening sign, I think that's all it is. I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything else bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
Just I see a lot of business. In order for people to know that if you're in business or not, they have a little on and off, light, just to say it's opened.
I understand 100%.
Yeah.
We're providing a special permit for change in use,
Okay.
but not for signage
Okay.
on this application, as I understand it. So
Okay.
anything that you need to do for a neon sign for the
Yes.
open,
Okay.
you'll just have to verify whether or not you need to come back,
Yes, of course.
because that's
if
not
it's
part of this application.
if it's not there, I'm not gonna bother using it, because then I want to be, accordingly, just continuing with the building usage. I don't want to go more and beyond, and I don't want to waste too much of your time, obviously, and I want this to be a smoothly transaction as soon as possible. That's all it is.
Great. I just have one last question. It's about deliveries. So how is the product going to be delivered to the facility? Because you don't really have a loading dock
Yes,
for trucks to kind of maneuver. And so I was just wondering,
correct.
what's the mechanism for delivering product?
Yes, the delivery products. I'm looking at trucks coming in and rolling in with dollies, boxed up or in packages, and then we would just unload in a store itself before opening hours, and then we would put everything according to where it's supposed to be, and that's why there is a proposal for a bigger door in the building, where we would have to maybe open up the wall and have a new door in there. So this way it's easier for usage, for going in and out, for traffic, for people traffic wise, and also easier for delivery guys to access in and out. Am I answering correctly? I'm not sure.
No,
Is that what we're talking about?
I understand that dolly aspect, and it makes the most sense. I'm just nervous with traffic on Middlesex Street, if there's trucks parked on Middlesex Street, and we're expecting vehicles to maneuver around the trucks that are offloading.
Okay.
And just, what would be, how many trucks, how many times a week? What's the hours of these trucks parked on Middlesex Street and material being offloaded, that kind of thing?
Yeah,
Do you have a sense as to what's going to happen?
correct. What makes most sense is having the truck early in the day, morning especially. Like probably before the opening, before people is out going to work and getting ready. This is like hours before traffic hours, obviously. So we give people their time that they need. We don't want to bother or hit anybody else with going around us. We want to be around them. Let's say people's out like at 7 o'clock. My truck should have been there around 6 o'clock already, and then loaded off, and then they're off already out of the city by then. To my assumption, yeah.
Okay. Patrick, do we have any kind of guidelines with restaurants and trucks parked in front of them for offloading? We don't have a really, designed kind of situation here for that.
Yeah, I don't know if we have like a written guideline for it.
Yep.
Typically, it's kind of a conversation with whether it's city engineer or the health department in terms of coordinating it, but I don't know that there is a written guideline for loading.
I think there's parking on Middlesex Street in front of this property. And so we don't have a loading zone, right? And so I'm just trying to kind of, maybe we have a 6-month review or something as a condition, just to understand if the loading situation is presenting any issues that we need to address.
Okay. I mean, there is a side of building that there's a parking spot that no one will be there in the morning to the side of the building.
Well, my guess is if we have any issues that we need to designate a loading zone.
Correct,
And a
yes.
timeline in the event that this doesn't, if we, if the truck is in the way and we have buses kind of having
Yes.
trouble, I just think maybe if we think down the road here, and I understand you probably don't have a plan together as far as how many trucks you're going to have a week and what their hours, so maybe we have a 6-month review for trucking. But I'm glad you're doing this.
Okay, yes,
I don't mean to
thank you.
discourage you. I'm just trying to make sure we have success, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So you're talking about maybe we have a 6 months.
So
understand it first.
there'd be a condition that we have a 6-month review to understand the loading and unloading of product, and whether or not there needs to be a stipulation for a better way to address it if there's any issues.
Okay.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Sean?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to make sure we're clear, Mr. Traub, that you understand, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the comments, they said that there's going to be required 2 dumpsters.
Two
One
dumpsters.
for product, one for waste and product, and the other one for cardboard. So I just want to make sure we're clear on that when we're talking about these dumpsters, that you're going to need 2 required dumpsters.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Separately.
2 dumpsters, one for processed product and one for the.
One for cardboard or recycling, I
Yep.
guess, and then the other one for regular waste and
Yes, sir.
stuff. So I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
You got it, sir, no problem.
One other thing that just caught my attention on this, no, not caught my attention, but I mean, first of all, this is a very great idea, and I'm looking forward. It's something to be looking
Thank
forward
you.
to. It's something the city, I think, really would benefit from as a seafood market. But you have any intentions of, I mean, as far as the market's concerned, is there going to be any intentions either now or in the future of serving like prepared meals or some form of like, fried seafood dishes or anything that's going to be cooked or prepared or something like that? Is there any intentions of that now or in the future of what you're intending with regards to what your plans are? Or?
Yes, if it goes well, now that you brought it up, I think maybe a boiled pot for seafood in the future, just for like crabs, lobsters, that sort of stuff. Maybe just boiled in a pot, that would be an idea, yes.
Okay.
Something that never really got brought up, but that would be definitely something I can look into.
No, I was just asking, because it's not part of the architectural plans that I saw. I normally would see something
Mhm.
where you got planned for a fryer later, or with like fries, or where you're gonna, oven or something to that effect. But that's something you'd have to work out with the building department in that instance too. But I was just kind of curious about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing, as far as the dumpster's concerned, I mean, if, as far as further conditions, the board would be asking the solid waste has sent several criteria as to what needs to be required with regards to the dumpster on their comments. It basically says it must meet the enclosure setback requirements, has to be wide enough for the 2 dumpsters, which I had mentioned.
Yes.
It must be positioned for head-end access from Saunders Street, and that it can't be in the public way. So I just want to make sure that's something that we probably would have to condition in order to grant you the relief, just to make sure that that's being complied with, so.
Yes,
I
of
just want
course.
to make sure they're clear on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but other than that, like I said, I think this is something, it seems like a decent business idea, and like I said, something that the city will probably benefit from, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sean Van?
Through you, Mr. Chairman. I like this idea of a seafood market. It makes sense. It is in the heart of like the new Kimberley Town district, so it works well with the whole like creative economy, and there's a mixed use of residential, but a lot of stores and retails. So it makes sense. Just in my experience, I recommend that you work closely with the health department. Like you said, to go through the training, to get the Safe Serve certification, so you could operate a restaurant/style store. So there's no issues with like contamination and all that stuff, how to do all those things properly. So overall, I think this is a good thing for the city, and I wish you the best of luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Van. Philip?
Yep. Good evening.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good evening, sorry.
Yeah, actually, I love seafood, so it's a good idea.
That's great.
Yes, it is. And probably you're gonna see some of us there a lot. I just have a few questions about it. Of course, we want you to succeed. It's a good venture, which you are doing, and not many people do it. The few questions I have is that, have you actually discussed this with your potential, neighbors there around that area, and do they accept it? That's one. Then 2, going back to the dumpster, because we know, fish smells, or seafoods, they smell a lot.
Yes.
How often do you think you're gonna be, emptying the dumpster? It's like just once a day, or how often? Then the last one is actually, let me just give you all the questions that you can
Sure.
answer them. I know, have you actually considered like a traffic flow on your busiest days? Let me say, usually the weekends are really busy. How do you intend to deal with that? Let me say, if you have a lot of traffic going to your business, how do you have any proposal to handle that? Have you thought of that?
Excuse me, the question was how to handle the traffic on a busy days.
Yeah.
What hours are we talking about? So I can try to actually clear it out.
Let me say let me say on a Saturday, because like in my community, most of us shop on Saturdays to
Yeah.
cook for the rest of the week. So if they know that you have, seafood, probably everybody's gonna go there on Saturday, and your store is gonna be busy. So you're gonna have the in and out traffic, You think you won't cause any congestion for the main traffic and whatever is happening in your premise? That's my question.
Okay. Traffic-wise, I don't think it's gonna be that much traffic more than it is already before, because the store itself, it's a small store. It's not a supermarket. So I don't think it's gonna create too much traffic. It will probably be a few more cars than usual, going through that road, obviously. But it's it's either packaged already or just live stuff in the tank, and we just grab it, pick it up, put it in the bag, and then people will be on their way. We're talking about minutes, and I don't think it's gonna be 100 people all at once gonna show up. That would be great, but maybe, you're talking about every few minutes you have a few customers coming in, rolling in. So it's not gonna be like the supermarket when there's lines and lines. This is a small store. It's a family business, and we're trying to keep it minimum to everything as possible. That's traffic-wise. Again, there's stores before that. There was some convenience store, and there was fast food before that. It did great, from what I understand. It didn't have any issues with traffic, so I don't think it's gonna create any more traffic now than it is before. So I don't seem to be worried about that at this point. Yeah, and it's a main street, and there is also small streets to go around also. So it's not like a dead-end street where to worry about person parking in one spot and then blocking off the whole road. No, and plus it's a main road, so it's pretty spacious. I've been, obviously there quite a few times. That's for traffic-wise. Now going to the dumpster, yes, there will be two, one for recycling and one for the waste. It will be comply again, enclosed. Dumpsters will probably, I assume, probably maybe twice, 3 times a week if it's necessary. So no waste will be lingering around. It wouldn't smell the city. It wouldn't smell the neighbor around it. And, this way it's always going to be clean. And I'll make sure, before going through, before opening and after closing, I'll walk around and make sure things are thrown in where it's supposed to, and instead of just people throwing things everywhere. And and I'll probably try to keep it closed, locked if it's necessary. Going around the neighbors, I asked quite a few people surrounding the area. They have no opposed. If anything, they're happy, that there's a seafood next door. They don't have to go to maybe a big supermarket and then wait in line and then take numbers. It's a shorter line, and it's a lot quicker. And people, have now a variety of things they can get packaged or fresh, obviously. Beside that, I think I've answered the 3 questions that you had asked. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. If there's anything else you need to let me clear out, please. Yes. Please. Give me the time, and that we'll take care of it for you.
Okay. Yep. I just want to wish you luck.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
We're here to help you. We're not here to give you a hard time.
Yes. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. We've heard the comments of the board and some questions and concerns. I just want to, just for the record, so you understand what the conditions are. Conditions are part of the petition process that you are required to meet prior to moving forward. So clerk will read the conditions back to you. If you're in agreement, it'll become part of the record and part of the requirement for you to move forward.
Yes, sir.
What the 6-month review is, it allows the board with you and members of the city to look at your permit and/or variance that is approved or not approved after 6 months to make sure you are in maintaining compliance, and if there's anything we need to adjust, either from a board standpoint or your standpoint or neighborhood concerns, that's where we would do it. Just wanted to have that explained to you for the record. The other thing I just want to bring up under the comments section, the building department made reference to submitting an I&E report under the statute for your live well, your live load-in. You did mention earlier that you're gonna meet the criteria of local and state guidelines. As Vice Chair has suggested, strongly recommend you touch base with the Health Department.
Yes.
And you just understand, first and foremost, they can probably help you through, and DPD is very good about it, can help you through this particular report as you start applying for your live tank.
Yes, sir.
'Cause it doesn't say in your plan where it's gonna be. So we wanna, we may wanna look at conditioning that you submit the location of your live tanks on your plan to DPD.
Yes, sir.
If they're gonna be in the back left corner of the store, front right center of the store, we'd just like to have that you put that in writing,
Yes, sir.
okay? The other thing was in regards to dumpster, as far as the pickup. Again, I would check with the Health Department and sanitation to see what the requirement is for pickup.
Yes, sir.
You don't want to corner yourself and make notice that you're gonna be picked up 3 times a week. That's, I think it's excessive and it's gonna get very expensive.
Yes.
So I would follow through with the Health Department and the City Sanitation Department on the requirements of how often the frequencies are that you're required to have your products picked up out of that area.
Yes, sir.
That way there, you're not, as soon as you said 3 times a week, I just wanted to make you aware that.
Oh, no, no.
You're doing a good thing here, you're opening a business, you're gonna be a productive businessman in the city, and I think you're gonna do well there, but we don't want to overburden you with things that aren't required or necessary. And
Yes,
that's
sir.
one of those things that kinda turned my head a little bit. You said
Yes.
3 times a week, I was like, ooh, it's gonna spend an awful lot of money in waste removal. But it's not gonna be I would just check with the appropriate departments and they'll give you the requirements.
I will. Thank
That way
you.
there you're not making notice on something that is excessive. And then just the other thing, as it relates to the dumpster, it cannot stay in the remaining site, and it cannot take up any parking spaces.
Yes, sir.
So, those are the comments that I have. You are in receipt of them. You did make notice on that.
Yes.
I understand there's a gentleman behind you who's trying to catch your attention.
Yes.
I will make you aware that, if you want to take a minute to speak to him. However, just so you're aware, the public hearing piece of the hearing is closed, so unless any particular member has a direct question to you.
I just want to make comment because I'm the
Sir,
landlord. So,
I want to be fair. Does any of the board members have a question for the landlord at this time? Okay.
I just would like to make comment that help the board to make a decision.
Thank you.
Yes, so if I may get your permission.
I just want to thank you for your time.
Thank
That's well said. Thank you. Okay, any other members of the board have comments, concerns, or questions as it relates to the conditions?
Mr. Chairman, I think the plan does locate the 4-tier lobster tank, but it's not, so it's in elevation, and then it's in the proposed elevation, and then it's called, so it does locate the proposed fish, crab, lobster tank for a layer, it says, but then in the elevation, it does show it as this tall, rather heavy, 72 inches high. So I think that it just needs to be confirmed with the building department that your building is going to need to be reinforced or not reinforced to sustain the load.
Okay. You
I
said
think it's
32 inches high?
72 inches high, it says.
It's kind of,
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. So anyway, the drawing does locate it, but it just seems a little
Okay.
not coordinate, not finished.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dennis, appreciate it. Any other comments or questions from any of the board members? That being said, Mr. Clerk, can you provide us with the conditions, please?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, so the conditions, with your agreement, Mr. Trow. So, condition 1 is to work with Department of Planning and Development to determine the location of the dumpsters without displacing parking. Number 2 is dumpster placement must meet the criteria in the comments of solid and waste recycling, which are as follows. One, must meet the enclosure and setback requirements. Two, it must be wide enough to store 2 dumpsters, one for trash and one for cardboard, single-stream recycling. 3, it must be positioned for head-in access from Saunders Street. 4, it may not be in a public way. And then further, the existing dumpster on the side of the building facing Saunders Street cannot remain in its current location. Third condition is that you're to submit I&E report it goes to the building department or to DPD? Building department? I&E report to the building department to address the live load, live tanks and how that's going to affect that. And then fourth is we're going to have a 6-month administrative review.
Yes, sir.
So just
Thank-
if you're in agreement with all that, then we can
Okay.
go forward, so.
Thank you.
All right, well, we haven't made a vote yet, but you're in agreement with those, though?
Yes, I agree with those, yes, correct.
Thank
Will
you.
do.
That being said, may I have a motion, please?
3, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion under ZB 2018-12, special permit, 851 Middlesex Street, for approval to open a seafood market at the existing mixed-use building at 851 Merrimack Street with the previously set forth conditions.
May I have a second?
Second motion?
A roll call, please.
Chairman Perrin,
Approve with conditions.
Member Peck,
Approve with conditions.
Member Callahan,
Approve with conditions.
Member McCarthy,
Approve with conditions.
Member Briere,
Approved with conditions.
Member Jamina.
Approve with conditions.
So you've been approved. We wish you the best of luck, and as mentioned, the city has a tremendous DPD department, and health department, all our departments are well-suited for our citizens and are there to assist. So utilize those resources for your benefit with your business moving forward.
Thank you,
We
sir.
wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good luck.
All right, good night.
It's hot enough. Thank you. Moving forward to our next petition, ZB 2018-13 for a variance, Vonasen at 58 Main Street, Section 5.1. The applicant is seeking variance approval for a property at 58 Main Street located in the traditional neighborhood two-family zoning district. The applicant constructed an attached carport and seeks relief for the front and side yard setback and usable open space under Section 5.1 and any other relief that is required by the City of Lowell zoning ordinance. Is the petitioner here tonight? Good evening, sir. You state your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name Panasin, and I'm the landlord, and I do the co-sign for my daughter. That's my daughter's. She's also the landlord, and especially I apologize for the chairman and also vice chairman and the clerk and the council, because my daughter, she's newly come to the United States, and she did not know the rules of laws here. And when she bought the house, and then she built through the construction person and just advised her to do it. And we don't know the rules of law, that it happened, that she does not want to violate the rules of law in this country. And the main purpose that she construct this shelter at the back of the house, it means she just want to build as a eating space. It's not for doing as a carport or the parking garage. This is all our main purpose.
Okay. Well, it was brought to your attention by the city that your structure was put up without a permit or any other approvals by the city board. So that's what brings you in front of us today. We are in receipt of your letter, and we understand
Yes, sir.
that you you brought to our concern
Yes,
that there was a misunderstanding that you
yes, sir.
did not understand you needed these permits. However, that being said, the city now has placed a comment section dated April 6th. Did you receive that letter?
Yes,
These comments?
yes, sir.
Okay. So essentially, you're looking at a carport enclosure that you're saying is intended for an outdoor eating space, but then we were told in our narrative that there was a vehicle underneath that as well. Did you receive this letter with all the comments
Yes,
from the city?
I do receive, Mr. Chairman, and can I have a time to explain to you regarding the car that was parking on that day?
Oh, certainly.
Okay. One of her uncle came from Cambodia, and he just he drive the car, and he did not know the space, and eventually on that day was a snow day, and he drive in and he go and park into that place by accidentally, and the city inspection, he went down there and he took the picture, so that it been happen. I do apologize on that too.
That's okay. It's a learning, this is a learning process. We certainly understand there's a lot of rules and regulations in
Yes, sir.
government. And if, it's hard enough to stay on top of them when you're involved in them, so
Yep.
we'll move
And-
forward with that. The other comment was related to, by the fire department about using the underhang, if you will, as part of cooking, and that's gonna be a violation of the fire code.
We do not have a place to do the cooking at that space because the kitchen is close to the place, so they can cook at the kitchen and they can handle the food for people or our sibling or our relative to come and visit. Just put the table there, and we will install the handrail if these if this shelter approved to stay, to avoiding from the car move in or out.
All right, well, those are just a few comments I just wanted to bring to your attention.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
probably go through this in the entirety with the other board members. So I'll reserve any further comments till later in the meeting. That being said, I'd like to open this up to the public for public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? In opposition? In opposition. That portion of the public hearing is now closed. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? In favor? In favor. That portion of the public hearing is now closed. I'd like to open it up to the board. Comments? Dennis?
Through Mr. Chairman, I just have a couple of comments. But seeing there are no neighbors here to contest it, I'm inclined to try to work with you to figure out a way that we can maybe put some conditions on here that we can feel comfortable about seeing this remain.
Yes.
One of the comments that was made in the by the engineering department was to install a rainwater collection system, a gutter,
Yes.
and then to have that water then go into a dry well so that it wouldn't be running off into the neighbor's yard, since you really don't meet the setbacks.
Yes, sir.
Are you amenable to that?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that'd be a good condition to provide if the rest of the board agrees. I also think there should be some kind of change made to the fence
Yes.
so that there's no longer access for a vehicle to be driven into that spot, even if it's convenient for snow days.
Yes, sir.
I think that that's a dangerous thing to provide. So I think the fence would need to be, as a, maybe a condition, the fence would need to be modified, the gate, to be no larger than 3 feet wide, so that there's no vehicles being stored under there. And then I think you made it clear that you're not grilling under there, but I think that's probably a condition as well, that no grills be used in that
No.
space under the roof.
The shelter, yes, sir.
One other condition that I'd like to see, which isn't mentioned here, is that I'd like there to be a condition that at no time would this structure be enclosed. So this is a variance for density on the site, and I'd hate to see this then become a year-round addition that would then be used as maybe another bedroom or two,
Oh, no.
which would increase. So I'd like to maybe, if the other board members would agree, that the structure remain open, and that remain open on all three sides.
Yes,
But
that still remain open, sir.
I think it serves your purpose, but I just wouldn't want to see it become more bedroom space that would then increase the density of that neighborhood, which is already relatively dense. So I think that's all I have. And please try to be aware of
Yes,
the
thank
zoning
you
that we
for
have
your
in the city.
advice.
Because it's important to recognize the zoning and its intent to maintain proper densities in the neighborhoods. So I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Sean?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I had some serious concerns about this coming in, based on, clearly on the fact that
Yes,
it looks like a car being utilized, a car being put in there and making it turn into a carport. And I understand what the intent was, and it's all good intentions, and I
Yes,
get
sir.
it, and I know you're trying to make good on it, and I really, really appreciate that, which is fabulous. But yeah, as long as you know right now that no cars can be under that thing, it can be
Yes,
under
sir.
it right now. And as long as you're willing to work with the city with regards to making
Yeah.
sure that everything is safe, because you understand that things can happen. That thing can go up. Something can happen if you have a grill under there and you're cooking, and then all of a sudden a spark and it goes up, and next thing you know, your house is
yes.
probably gone. I mean, at that point. So,
I-
and the fact that there's no neighbors here objecting, and looking at some of the other houses nearby, they kind of got a similar layout.
Yes,
They're enclosed, but that's the way they've been built, and they've been those. I presume those have met all zoning issues. So, but I'm willing to to agree to this with the conditions that Dennis has just
yes.
placed forward. I mean, there's going to be a lot of conditions to kind of keep this going forward, but I think it'll be able to work. So, but
Thank
I
you,
wish you the
sir.
best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Dennis, Van?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I agree with my colleagues. Mr. Sin, you came here to try to rectify a mistake. Honestly, it's a lot of codes and ordinances in the city, so I understand it's hard to keep up with everything. I think it's important to reiterate that that structure is mainly for, like a deck or patio, no cars, no
car.
parking.
No,
I think, especially no cooking, there's no ventilation, no piping, no circulation, things
Yes.
can catch on fire, it's, but I do understand what you're trying to do here. It's more of a, like a deck or patio kind of for hot summer days or rainy days or whatever, just a little shelter from that. I think to me, I can support this. So, just going forward, just
Thank
follow
you,
the
sir.
rules and regulations.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Wish you the best of luck, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Van. Philip?
Good evening.
good evening.
Yeah. I see that you are giving a citation, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so did you take care of that already? Okay,
yes,
all right. Well, like you said, it's a mistake, so, everybody makes mistakes, so hopefully, everything will work out for you.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. So you've heard what I'm sorry, Mark?
No, I have no questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, that being said, we've gone through the comments, and you understand. We do appreciate you coming in here and correcting this issue, and, you know, the
Yes.
intent of zoning, and all other, ordinances is for primary, is for safety, safety of you, the family, the neighbors,
Yes.
emergency response. You know, it is the will of the board to always work with petitioners. Comments from, the city, indicates that as well. They're willing to work with this issue of, structure going out without the proper permits. The only other thing I will look to is, under the engineering section of the comments, they did mention that if the surface was to be paved under there, just so you're aware, you will need a paving permit. So if you move down the line and that surface needs to be repaved,
Yes.
you will have to go through the city for a paving permit,
Yes, sir.
you know, just so you're aware of that. Just as a point of note is that what the board members are bringing now are conditions that you will accept and agree to, or you will not, that will allow us to move forward with a vote for the petition. If you're in agreement with the conditions, and we can move forward.
Yes, sir.
Clearly, the underlying issue here would be to have to take the structure down, and that would be a financial strain, and that's not the intent of zoning of the board, but it is the intent to make sure that the density of all neighborhoods are maintained under the board. So
Yes.
the conditions are there to protect both the board, the city, and you as well as your neighbors. So that being said, if any other comments or concerns from any other board members, any other conditions? If, Mr. Clerk, if you could read those conditions to the
Okay.
petitioner?
So we have several conditions here that want to make sure that you're in agreement with Mr. Sin.
Yes, sir.
First of all, no cars can be under the overhang, so it's not to be used as a carport.
Yes, sir.
Secondly, of course, no grilling or use of outdoor grills or any other fire
Yes.
pits or anything.
I affirm that there will be no grilling.
Third, if for engineering, if it's you're going to be paved, then you'll need to get a paving permit, and you should install gutter to collect stormwater
Yes.
from the roof that goes in there. So, fourth, the structure cannot be enclosed; it must remain open on all sides.
Yes, sir.
And let's see, was there one, Dennis? You had one.
Yes, I was asking for the fence to be repaired so that no bigger than a 3-foot gate would be provided. That would help limit the access for vehicles.
Yeah, that's what.
Yes.
Okay.
And sorry, so that would be on the side of where the driveway is.
I'm sorry, yes.
At the driveway, there was a driveway,
Yep,
and
I just want to clarify. Thank you.
And just one last one, because the building made some comments. Just work with the building department
yes, sir.
to make sure that everything is up to their code, which you would
Yes,
should
sir.
anyways. But just want to make sure that that's clear, because they commented that the sketches that they provide were not that clear as well. I just want to make sure
Yes.
you work with that. So I believe those are the conditions that we have at this point. So.
Are you in agreement with these conditions set forth?
Yes, I agree, sir.
Thank you. That being said, may I have a motion?
Three, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for ZB 2018-13 for variance for 58 Main Street, variance under section 5.1 for relief for front and side yard setbacks and usable open space for the construction of an attached structure purported to be a carport, but not really a carport,
Not carport.
with the previously aforementioned conditions.
May I have a second?
Second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
May I have a roll call, please?
Chairman Perrin,
Approval conditions.
Member Peck,
Approve of conditions.
Member Callahan,
Approval conditions?
Member McCarthy,
approve with conditions.
Thank
Member
you.
Briere,
Approve with conditions.
Member Gemino.
Approve with conditions.
Sir, you've been approved.
Thank you so much.
As stated, please utilize the resources that the city has provided for you, the DPD department and permitting departments as you move forward.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate you coming in.
So I would like to say thank you to all of you, councils, and especially I came to this country for 16 years. I've been working in this country for, between 16 years, I work 20 hours a day and make my life difference. And this city gave me a lot. And I am intended to provide back to this city through my property tax. Finally, at this moment, I and my daughter and my family, we got 16 houses
Wow.
paid off. And we try to do the best we can to pay back to the city. And right now, I'm constructing my fence at the 529 Pine Street. I make a little different from people. So you will see.
Right.
Everybody can drive by and see.
Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing that, and we're glad you came in and we were able to resolve this issue with no negativity.
Yes,
Best
I
of
try
luck.
all my best to follow the rules of law of this
We
country.
appreciate it. Take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you. Good.
And moving forward to other business, there's minutes for approval. 2/26, 2018, 3/12, 2018, and 3/26, 2018. All board members able to review? I have a motion to accept.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for February 26, 2018, March 12, 2018, and March 26, 2018.
May I have a second?
Second the motion.
Roll call?
Chairman Perrin,
Accept the meetings?
Member Peck,
Approve the minutes.
Member Callahan,
Approve the minutes.
Member McCarthy,
Approve the minutes.
Member Briere,
Approval.
Member Jamina.
Approve the minutes.
That being said, we have no other business. We have anything for handouts or discussion?
No new handouts. We have 4 items on next week's, or 2 weeks from now, agenda on April 23rd.
Very well. That being said, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
May I have a second?
Second motion.
Motion adjourned. Have a good night.